we'll see how we do. So I always start my lecture the same. I always like to feed you all. Now, unfortunately, you guys are online, so you're not going to get to do this, but I have two volunteers here. I have Alec and I have Harry. So you're going to be the millions of audience that are watching. All right. So I've got some packets of crisps. These are literally just ones I grabbed from our local Spar shop before I left. Help yourselves to a packet of crisps. Anyone you want, go for it, both of you.
You're lucky because you would have got mine with a rich round off.
Okay, so what I want you to do is you're going to do something you don't normally do in lectures. Get your phones out.
Alright.
Because I want you to look at the date that they run out on, whatever the use by date is. Alright? And I want you to, don't tell me, but I want you to find out what it is. And when you find out what it is, I want you to find out what day it actually runs out on. Alright. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday or Sunday. Find out which day the crisps run out on. We'll give them a second.
Okay.
Got it?
I've got mine.
You got yours, Alec?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so we're going to associate each day to an animal. And I have the animals here. So if you're currently thinking of if you've got crisps, by the way, at home, if you've got time to quickly run and grab them, but only if they're close by. So if you sat there munching, grab the packet and have a look. If you're thinking of Monday, I want you to think of a bird. If you're thinking of Tuesday, think of a monkey. Wednesday, a rabbit. Thursday, a tiger. Friday, a dog. Saturday, an elephant. And Sunday, a horse. Mm-hmm. Now you should all have an animal in your head, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So if this has worked, and if you're abroad, it probably hasn't. I'll tell you straight away. But if you're in the UK, this will work. See the red bag? You're currently thinking of an animal. See, in this bag earlier, I placed an animal. Don't worry, it's not a live one. But it is an animal. And you should both be thinking of the same animal, which should be an elephant, correct?
That's brilliant, yeah.
This particular one is a grey elephant from Denmark. I just put that in for magicians there. So it's just a bit of fun, this one. But it's if you're abroad, I apologise. I don't know whether this works abroad. But if you're in England, this works. So the way it works, and I have Neil Jacklin to thank for this, who's a good friend of mine. He came up, he saw that the crisps, well, I'll show you. Basically, I'll explain. So, all crisps in the UK end on a Saturday.
That's hilarious. As is.
All right.
That is hilarious.
There are very few sort of difference. The only ones that don't, right? I have discovered this as I've been doing this over the years. So the ones that don't, there's a brand called Burt's Crisps, which is sometimes finds in Costa Coffee. There is a brand called Piper's Crisps, which sometimes have Saturday and sometimes don't randomly. I don't know what's going on with that. They used to only be Saturday, but it's just lately it's changed. Lay's Crisps, which are the ones that you get in like, sometimes you get them in IKEA and they're like Scandinavian crisps. Call them chips, I think. They don't work. And it doesn't work with the ones that aren't real crisps, you know, like the lentil ones and things. If you ever check the date on them things, they last for like 4 years. So I dread to think what they're actually made of. It can't be good for you. So it's clearly not a product that you should be eating, probably. Even though it's health food, yeah. Health food that lasts that long without is a bit dodgy. But any Walker's Crisps, it works with. Any brand of Walker's Crisps. Any brand of KP Crisps, it works with. Any brand of Smith's Crisps, it works with. These three, basically. Smith's, I think. Walker's, that's own brand. Any own brand crisps, weirdly enough, it's always a Saturday. I think they must all come from the same place, which is probably Walker's, to be honest. So, including the multi-packs and even the Pringles tins, work with Pringles tins as well. So, if you're at a gig, and I've seen this more and more at weddings, they have sometimes a wall of crisps these days, all little pegs. Just tell somebody to go get a packet of crisps. And you've got a trick. What I like to do this for mostly is in the pub with my friends, and they go, "Oh, show us a trick." I go, "Yeah, sure. Just go buy a bag of crisps from behind the bar." Because in England, most of the crisps behind the bar are Walkers. They're nearly always McCoy's or something, and it will work guaranteed with this trick. So you have a trick. All right. So that's the kind of thing I'm going to be doing in the impromptu side of things. I just figured if I feed these guys, they'll be nice to me. So have some more crisps, guys. I'm going to throw them at your way because I need to clear the table. All right. So. Well, we can put that to one side. So, like I said, I'm going to go through my working set, just purely so you can see the kind of magician I am. If you have any questions, let me know. Most of it's easy to do. Well, everything I do is easy to do. To be honest, if I can do it, it's easy. That's the kind of general rule. Harry, can I borrow you? Come and have a seat, mate. And we're going to do this. Let's move the elephant out of the way.
French fries.
Yeah, too late, mate. Alec can sit and enjoy his instead. So we'll put that to one side as well for now. So this is what I start with. So whenever I walk up to a table, this is my opener for everything. So I have a colour cube. It's like the world's easiest Rubik's Cube. I'm probably the only one I could do, if I'm honest. All you have to do is choose a colour. So whatever colour you want, leave on top, but cover over so I can't see.
Okay.
Choose a colour. I'm going to look away. Let me know when you've got one and when you covered over.
Yep.
You done that and covered over?
Yep.
Okay, I want you to just picture the colour in your head. Imagine like a TV screen, all that one colour. Just get it in your mind and picture it in your head, okay? And with you, this is difficult. This is red, isn't it?
It is,
yeah, but
yeah,
to be fair, you have done it on top of a red mat, so that makes sense. Choose another colour, choose another colour. Normally I do this around everybody and we'd go around the whole table.
Okay.
Let me know when you got one.
Yep.
Covered over. And this time you went... Oh, that's interesting. You went green. It's green, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the really weird thing about this is I already know what you're going to do next. I know you don't, but I do. I'm going to actually write it down. So just close your eyes for a second. And I'm going to write it down ahead of time. I think you're probably going to do that. Okay. And if you would, choose a colour. Let me know when you got one.
Yes.
Sure?
Yep.
Don't want to change your mind? And
No.
that feels like a free choice.
Yep.
What colour did you go for?
White.
White.
How the hell have you done that?
How
the hell have you done that?
So,
there's no
so
way.
we'll try this a little bit further as well. So what I want you to do is, I want you to, again, choose a colour, have it in your hand this time, the colour on top, pick a colour, put your hand over it, and then wait for my instructions, all right?
How the hell have you done that?
Don't worry about it, it's fine.
I don't understand how you've done it. Right, okay.
Done that?
Yeah.
Covered over? All right, so what I want you to do is, let me think. Give me a number between 1 and 10.
Let's go 4.
4? All right, I want you to move it 4 times now, so you don't know what the colour is either. Let me know when you've done that.
Happy.
So you don't even know what the colour is at all?
I don't know what it is now, no.
All right, so just think of the colour you started with. Good, yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's 4 from yellow, so yellow would be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's red now. Have a look. Red.
That's
Cool.
brilliant.
Very
good.
Excellent. So that tells me a bit about you. Psycho.
That's really
psycho.
good.
So we'll do something else with this. So I'll grab my phone up. Now again, normally I do this with the whole table as we're going round, but I'm going to do this with we'll do it with both of you. Okay. So I've got my calculator here. So Alec, give me a 3-digit number, any random. Actually, no, we'll call it out. I'll actually get you to tap in. Tap in any 3-digit number. And we'll put plus, put another 3-digit number in. Sorry, I know this is off camera. We'll put another plus. Harry, put another 3-digit number in. And we'll pay plus. So we're doing this like so. iOS 18. Another one. Don't you just love it? Fantastic. And we will press equals. And we've got 11,024. 11,024. I hope you got that on the screen there. 11,024. In my cube, there's a piece of paper. Open up your hand. Nothing that's inside the cube. Open up the cube, open up a piece of paper, have a look what's inside. What have we got?
There's no way.
11,024.
That is brilliant.
And what's really crazy about that is that would have only worked right now at this lecture on the the 1st of the 10th, 2024, because that's today's date. And
Look at that.
there you go.
That is very good.
So that's how I open my tables with that trick. Let's go on. I'll do the next one, and then we'll go on from there. All right. So, did you have a pet when you were little?
Yep.
What kind of animal?
A cat.
Okay. What I want you to do: write down the name of the cat, nice and clear. Let everyone see. Then put it face down so I can't see it. I'll look away. Let me know when you've done it. When you put it down on the mat when you've done it face down. But let me know when you've done that.
And show the guys, yeah?
Yep, show the guys. That's why you've written it down, so they can see what it is. What you think nobody's saying.
Okay, yeah, and it's face down on the mat.
Put it face down?
Yeah.
Yep, great. Did you see what it was, Alec? That was what it was? Yep. Okay, well then chuck that in there like so. Okay, cool. Brilliant. All right, so you say it was a cat?
Yep.
All right, so what we'll do is I'll write cat down. Cat. Okay, and roughly, How old were you when you had the cat? Would you say just roughly, ish?
10.
10. Did you name it?
No,
Who named it?
my sister.
Sister, older sister, younger sister.
I only got an older sister.
Older sister, older sister. All right, okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to imagine that you're 10 again,
Okay.
and you're coming back from school. It's been a long day, and you're walking up towards the front door, and the front door opens just ajar, and the cat comes out. Picture the cat in your head. Remember everything about it. Black and white.
Yeah.
Okay. It was mostly black though, with a little white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pause. Yeah. Okay. And, little just here, just only a few hairs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got the right cat. Okay. So just think of the name. Get the name in your head.
Yeah.
Six letters? Okay. Don't think of the first letter. Don't think of the last letter. Think of one letter in the middle. Find me an interesting one. Don't say it, just think it. Oh, I love the way you went there and back again. Okay, that's interesting. There's an M in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
I also got the one after it as well, but don't worry about that for now. Just think about the first letter for me. See the mouth change? That's a H. And now just think about the last letter. Get the last letter in your head. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I think I know what this is. Humbug?
Yeah.
Humbug the cat. So that's my first two opening tricks. All right. I'll go through them and then we'll carry on.
That is unbelievable.
So
Holy moly.
the cube first. Right. We'll go through this first. So the cube is essentially a Pro Mystic inside out cube. This is the only sort of big product that you'd have to buy in this entire lecture. So please don't switch off because you're going, well, I need to spend 500 quid on a cube or whatever, right? It is expensive. It's worth every single penny. And I'm telling you this purely because I have so many friends when they see this and they go, oh, I bought one of those. It's in my drawer. Don't use it. And then they see my lecture and now it's become a part of their act. All right. So for those that don't know, Craig Filistetti, I'm sorry, but I'm going to explain how it's done, mate. But hopefully you'll get some sales. So it comes with different coloured sides. The thing I like about this cube most of all is you can open it up and there's nothing inside, all right? Now it is electronic. There is a little electronics here and I have a thumper in my pocket here, which is in my ticket pocket in my jeans because I've got jeans on today, which just buzzes for whichever one it is, okay? So I know if that goes to blue, it's going to buzz 5 times in my case, all right? That's how I know which one he's picked. So when he chooses a side, it just tells me. As easy as that, all right? The rest of it's presentation. So if you look at the presentation side of it, I tell them to visualize this image, imagine a TV screen, picture the screen. That is all about the presentation. So I tend to do that with people going around. Now, if I get the opportunity and I'm only doing it with one person like we did here, one-on-one, what I've found just from the years of doing it, the third time they often go white.
That's crazy.
Which is why it fried you about the white.
That's crazy.
Now, I do have an out. So what I do with this is if I'm doing it that way, I'll write down white. They haven't seen it. I put it face down on the table, okay? I turn my back. I still got the thumper on. So if he goes for anything other than white, I go, oh, just out of interest, what kind of car do you drive? This makes no sense at all, but I ask him. And if he goes whatever he says, what kind of car do you drive?
Mini.
Mini. I go, oh, right, no, it won't be that. And I pick it up and I change it.
Nice.
And put it down. As though somehow Mini drivers don't pick white.
Yeah, nice.
And I'll go, what did you go for? And then I'll go, boom, and it's still going to be right. The nice thing with it, I can often go, did you think of white? And often they thought of white first and then changed it.
Nice.
It's just literally I do this with every person at every gig, 65 to 100 gigs a year. So I dread to think how many thousands of people this cube's hands this been in over the last sort of 15 years I've been using it. So I've just noticed the patterns over the years. So take my knowledge now and my experience of doing this and trust me, that's what they do.
It's so good. I use a similar one and the reactions are brilliant. And it's almost like a get out of jail card. If you turn up to an event, everyone wants to see this, you know, it's so good.
They really do. They really do. And as an opener, it's fantastic. And then I have the added kicker that obviously I've got the piece of paper in it. So all I do for that, let me grab my phone again. So I put this on Facebook, but I'll do it to you here as well. The way I did the toxic so we've all used toxic for years, and it's been one of the best tricks certainly that I've ever had to play with, and it was for free to make it even better. And now, due to Apple updating, we're all screwed. But I have worked a couple of workarounds on it, and that's exactly what I did here. So I did the one where it's on my phone tonight, but I could do it where it's on somebody else's phone. So this is the new layout for the calculator, and the reason it doesn't work with this anymore, if they put a number in and press plus, you'll notice it adds on, and then each time they do it, it adds it, or takes it, or divides it, whatever. And when they press equals, gives you the result, and it gives you a list of what the sum was across the top. That's a real pain for us if we've got toxic, because the method part would be on display, so we can't do that anymore. So as soon as 18 came up, I downloaded it to see what would happen. So the way I do this trick is, it's generally the calculator, so I am going into my calculator, look. I put in, the key here, whereas I used to get people to call out the numbers, I can't anymore, and there's a reason for it. So I will go to somebody and say, right, put in a 3-digit number, 4-digit number, whatever, press plus. Then I go to somebody else, get them to put the number in and press plus, and so on. And we do this 4 times, okay? And then before they press equals that, I turn it round. So I turn it round to myself, and I just do this. Now here, bink, is a screenshot of the sum that adds up to today's date that I did before I went to the gig.
Nice.
So all I've done here, in my photos, I've literally just got the photo in there, I've opened it up so it's nice and big, and all I'm doing is that motion and pressing the button. So if I go equals here, that's what it should add up to, but just in that motion and then going bink, it looks like I've gone to that.
Nice.
That's all it is, all right? If you want to do it on their phone, if you're brave enough, what you would do is you borrow their phone, you put in this case, today's date, okay? Put your finger on it, and press copy. Now, the way you do this, because that's quite a lot to put in. So what I do, have you got an iPhone?
Yeah.
Can I borrow it a second?
Yeah.
Don't open it up for me, I can do that for you. Okay, so what I'll do, well, let's just open it up for him. And there we go, we're in. So I'll just go, no. Just look at me. Yeah, that should work. Yeah. And we're in. Okay, great. So now I'm in his phone.
Nice.
Now the nice thing here is I can press. They can do the same thing. They can do whatever numbers they want. Okay, and then I do again. I look at it myself. This time I press equals, and then I put my finger on it and press paste, and now it changes to my number.
Nice.
But what you'll notice is the number's not across the top. Well, you can get around that. So when I do this trick, what I do is I ask for people on the table, I say, who's got an iPhone? And normally it would be so I could do the toxic force on it. But in this case, what I'm actually looking for is the person that hasn't got an iPhone. So I borrow the iPhone from somebody. And by the way to get in your phone is very simple. All I did is just diagonal swipe it and just press the calculator.
Nice. Lovely.
But the nice thing there is they think you're hacking into their phone. What you're actually doing is setting the trick up.
Very clever.
All right, so there you go, Vic. So,
Can you show us that again? It's just off of camera.
yeah, sure. So I'll go from here. Look, there's my lovely family. Look. So if I swipe diagonally down, sometimes you get this one, sometimes you get this one. And the calculator is I just press it and it brings it up. It sometimes has a search bar, in which case just tap calc in. But in that process of doing that, well, I'm actually looking like I'm looking at them trying to figure out what their pin number is. I'm just swiping down and I'm just literally setting it up. So in this case, 11024. I keep my finger on it a few seconds, and Apple in its wonderful thing does copy, and then I clear it down. Now I'm set to go. So the moment I want, I just keep my finger on it and press paste, and that number comes back.
Nice.
So what you do, you do all the same thing with all the Apple people. You put in the number so they know that it looks like that. And then when it comes to doing the equals bit, when you do the paste part, that's when you go to somebody that's not an Apple person. You go, can you just call out that number? Now, when you think about it, there's a little bit of a sort of equivoque coming here, I guess, because to them, you've just told them to call out the big number. You haven't said, and double check, is that an iPhone? Does it? You've not done that. You just said call out that number. So they're just going to call out that number. The other advantage you've got here is they probably don't know what the Apple calculator looks like because they haven't got one. They've got an Android. They'll be used to theirs. So they're not going to think, oh, but the numbers are missing across the top. So it just means you're going to get away with doing toxic still, without any fancy apps or anything. You still do it exactly as you used to, just on your phone, doing those methods. Any questions on that? Any questions on it?
No questions here.
Brilliant.
Lovely.
In that case, we'll throw that away. All right, so so that's how to do toxic force. That's why I've shown you what the cube's about. The nice thing with a piece of paper inside the cube as well, if they have got a suspicion that it is electronic, well, the moment you open up and drop out the piece of paper, obviously it proves that there wasn't. So their mind just goes, oh, well, it can't have been. So the next one then, the pet.
Killer.
So the pet one is really, so did you see me get at peak?
No.
Good.
No.
That was the idea. Let's just reset it. I'm completely reset now. So I do that normally between walking. So the way this works is very simple. There is a whacking great huge hole cut in the back of my cards here.
Lovely.
So this will take you half an hour to make tops. It will give a business card out every single time to a client, which they'll keep and they'll tell the story of because it's got the name of their cat on it, or dog, or whatever it might be. And all it costs you is a few business cards, basically. It's cost you 10 actually. So what you're going to do, and just like Blue Peter, I have some prepared earlier.
This is a great routine, isn't it? Lovely routine.
So this isn't originally mine. So this this thing is originally in a book called ESP Experiments, I believe it's called, by Ken. Oh, I'm going to butcher the name now. Ken Klein, and somebody Klom. Sorry, mate, I can't. I think they don't know anyway. But let me get my credit because I don't want to do it wrong. I have to do them justice because they're geniuses, these guys. Business copy. Ken Klein and Fred Klom. Exciting Experiments ESP. Right, that's the book it's originally from. Get the book; it's quite good actually. It's only a small pamphlet, but it's good. And they explain this. Now, there have been different other variations. Luch brought out a version of this called Hollow as well, that keeps them all loose. Now, I don't like keeping them loose, and there's a reason for it. So the way I make this is you get 10 business cards, and you buy from the Hobbycraft or the range, whatever you've got near you, some of this tape. So this is double-sided tape, and it's about 6 millimeters thick. All right, I'll crack this open so you can see how. So it's about 6 millimeters thick. It's very thin, double-sided tape. And so you get 10 business cards, and like so. And what you do is you put the tape. Where's the one I did? There we go. You put tape all the way around the edges, like a little thing, right? And then with a craft knife, be very careful. You cut out the middle, and you do that on 9 of them. Okay, and you stick all 9 using double-sided together. So you end up essentially with a block like that. The last one you don't put double-sided on, but you just stick it on and then basically cut from the other side.
Right.
So you end up with this. Now the reason you don't use glue is because if you use glue, it goes like a solid block. And I found over the years from performing it, a solid block's not as good. Because you want it to be flexible like the cards are. And that's where the double-sided comes in. So there's a reason for that as well. So the thing I added to this little collection of genius that's there is a hair bobble, weirdly enough. So if you was to do this with an elastic band, what will happen is the elastic band will come off with the card when you do the peak.
Right.
Because it pulls because of the rubber at its part. Well, so what you do is you go to Primark if you're in the UK. If you're not, find another store, and you get a lady's hair bobble. All right, the ones without the little metal strip on them. So that's just, you get 60 of these for £1. All right. If you want some, I've got a bunch. Send me a thing. I'll just chuck some in the post here. All right, they're that cheap, and it'll go around nice and straight. It stretches nice and big. Goes around twice. It still looks elegant enough to be at a gig. Because it's like they do them all different colours. Sometimes they have a black one, sometimes they have a gold. This is a gold one. And the nice thing with this, now watch how fast I can get this peak. So what I do, we'll do this again in performance. So I get the person, let me grab your card out. So I say to the person, did you have a pet? Yes. What kind of animal was it? Great. Write down the name. Do it nice and clear, let everybody see. Now, if you notice, I'm giving them a Sharpie pen and it's on a white card. So the beauty here, any lighting issues aren't going to be a problem. You can't get any clearer. And with a Sharpie pen, I particularly dull the tip as well, so they have to write big.
Yeah.
You know, they get these people and they write dead tiny. They can't do that with this because it's a Sharpie, right? So they write nice and, I say, write nice and big and clear. I want you to show everybody here. So that's your justification for them for writing it down, is because they want everyone to be on the same wavelength as the person who's done it, right? And again, I get to say to them, put it face down on the table when you're done. So they do that. Sometimes they do that, sometimes they keep it in hand. Either way, I just take it off them. All right, now at that point, while my back's turned, so I'm not looking, what I'm actually doing is I bring the hair bubble down slightly and I push down at this edge. And because they're all stuck together, they'll go as a block.
Nice.
Which means I can find the window area really easily. All right, so the window is very easy to find. It's here, look, okay? And what I usually do is I usually put my finger in just so I can feel that it's definitely there. So I've got a break, essentially. I turn back around, I take the card back, I'd show it to everybody in with my eyes closed. Again, justifying the why it's been written down. I go, everybody read it, nobody say it. And then I'd put it in the middle without saying anything and just chuck it in there. And then I cast this to one side like it means nothing to me at all.
Nice.
Because I want them to remember later on, he didn't even have the cards in his hand. All right? So then they always cap the pen, which is great. So I re-uncap the pen. Now I pick up the business card block. All right? And I'll go back to standing so you can see. So at this point, I'll ask again what type of animal it was. Even though I knew it was a cat, I go, what kind of, oh, cat, right. So I'll write cat down like I'm making notes. I'll move the hair bubble to the edge and I'll flick here, which gives me just a bit of a pinky break. All right? And then I do what I call the Wallace and Gromit move. So it's like no cheese Gromit, all right, from the thing. But I do it so that they can see that there's nothing, that there's not a window here. So I go, and roughly,
yeah, nice.
how old were you when you had the pet?
Nice.
Now, when you ask that to somebody, what they do is they go like that and they look up while they're reclearing, which is what you did, what everybody does. And at that point, I do this, boom.
Nice.
That's how fast the peak is. And I could do this fully surrounded, because the moment you ask somebody how old they were, everybody looks at them. Nobody's looking at me. I could literally go, right, but I'm not going to do that because I don't need to. I can just do that and put it straight back. And then whatever he says, 10, I write 10 down in this case. Then I carry on writing questions, because I'm already home dry now. I've done. I don't need to do anymore, but I'll carry on. And who was it that named it? Oh, sister. Older or younger? Okay, put sister down. Okay, whatever. Yeah. And I'll go. Then what I'll do is I go, right. What I want you to do is I want you to think about. I create a scenario. So with the pet one, I go. So I want you to imagine you're 10 again, and I make it out like I'm looking for the notes because my memory is so bad. I already know what it is, but I go 10 again, which again draws attention to this. And I go, and now look what I've done. I've took it and I've wrist killed and body blocked the thing. So even if I'm surrounded, and I do this with photographers over my shoulders, I literally take it down, put that in my pocket as I'm asking the question.
Nice.
If you watch it back, you'll see me do it. Might do it slightly different, but it always looks the same. So now, and then I put it back as it was before when I was taking notes. Because I'm doing this in the misdirection of asking a question.
Yeah.
So setting this visual, imagine you're 10 again. You're walking up towards the front door, Mr. Jar, cat comes out, see the cat in your head. Now, because he'd written humbug, there's a good chance it was going to be a black and white cat, which is why I went black and white cat.
Yeah.
But what you'll find is the more you do this, if you do the pet version, you'll find there are certain names that to add to certain animals. So, for example, if it's a dog and it was called Prince, it'll be a black Labrador. Just is. Don't know why. It is this. If it's Bonnie and it's a dog, it's probably going to be a golden retriever.
Right.
They just are. And you just learn it. Oh, if it's a rabbit, it'll be Fluffy or Thumper or Peter, probably. They're the three most popular names. Fluffy is also the most popular hamster. So you're already ahead a lot of the time on this kind of thing before you even start. So, and it's great if they put Snowy or something where you go, is it a white cat? Yeah. Wow, how do you do it? And they freak out because they forget they've written it down. So then I do the hangman thing for how many letters. And then from there I go, right, don't think of the first letter, don't think of the last letter, think of a letter in the middle. This is something I learned from Luke Jamay. He does this in one of his, I think it's the Minds DVD set. And all you do is you say the name to yourself. So I go humbug, so it's H, or it's going to be or it's going to be B. So what I normally do is I normally go, oh, that's interesting, you went there and then you went back again. And if they smile, I know that they went for the M. If they don't smile, I know you probably went for the B. But it doesn't matter what they do, because the way I phrase it, it goes, oh, there's an M in this, isn't there? Now, it might not be the one they're thinking of, but there is an M in it, so he has to answer yes. So to everybody else, I got a hit, even if I didn't get the hit.
Yeah.
All right, so I write M down. I go, right, now think of the first letter, and that's when I make a comment about all the lips change. Did you see that? And that always gets a laugh by everybody, and they start getting really awkward because they're like, I don't know what to do now, because they're just giving, they feel like they're telegraphing it to you. Then I do the last letter, and then I just basically fill it in, and boom, you've got the reveal. Don't underestimate it as a trick. Of all the different things, I used to have Labco. All the electronic labs. I've had a Labco, I've had Hugo Shelley's Mindbuster, I've had every kind of electronic peak device and a few of the wallets. And all of them have been replaced by literally this one stack of business cards that cost you next. I know what, we're now like Casamia, go buy all the wallets. Especially the Assassin wallet because it's brilliant.
Well, that is actually good.
But it is very good.
This is brilliant.
But that gives away the business card to the client.
Yeah.
So now they've got the details. It's also got a treasured memory on them that they've just memorized. And I've had literally grown men bawling their eyes out over the memory of this dog that he had.
That's brilliant.
So they're going to remember you. Any questions? Any questions?
We have one question, but
Good.
I'll save that for later.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is it why am I rambling on too much about a stack of business cards?
No,
All right.
it's all good.
That's really good. I tell you what, I will make that up as well because that's a great one just to carry on you all the time. And if someone comes up
great,
to you, like you said, hand out a business card. It's personal, you know. You can, that's brilliant.
And the reset is literally you take one off the bottom, put it in the back of you, and
That's
you're done
great.
again. And sometimes what you'll do at a table is they'll go, "Can you do the same to me?" You will get that with this trick. In which case, you get sure. You just take it out of your pocket, keep the body blocked, take one off the top, turn your back so you can't see again, and then just reset it.
Nice.
While
Yeah.
you're doing that. But it's the little
That's
subtleties
brilliant.
that make the difference on this. So I have name the pet. I do one. The first person you had as a friend at school. So if they haven't got a pet, I do that, and I go. Imagine they're in your classroom. In walks this person. They walk to the board. If the person's short, I'm doing it with. I go slightly taller than you,
Nice.
and they've got short hair. If it's a guy, if it's a girl, I go long hair. Because most kids at the first child, the girls tend to have long hair. I know it's probably sexist, and I apologise, but it's true. I live with a 10-year-old. I go to their school. I just look at their kids, and they're all like that.
Yeah.
All the girls got long hair. All the guys have got short hair. All right. So so you can take a punt on it that you're going to be right, and you'll be right more than you'll be wrong. And if you're right, they'll be amazed. If they're wrong, they'll just forget.
Yeah.
In the same way they
Well,
do
you're
when
going to get the
psychics
name.
do
That's
it.
the most important thing anyway, really. So.
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. You know, that's why psychics do so well, because when they throw out a Barnum statement, it sticks with the people that it relates to, and everybody it doesn't relate to, it just washes over them.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what we're doing with this. So that's the business card peak. Enough waffling, let's go on to the
Really
next
good.
one.
Really good.
So, okay. We'll do this one next. So, Alec, we'll do this with you. All right. So I've got here loads of different famous people written on playing cards. Okay. Hopefully you recognise one or two names.
Yeah.
Okay. All you got to do is just shout stop. Simple as that.
Stop.
Happy there? Yep.
Yeah.
Have a look. Do you know who it is?
Yes.
Do you know what they're famous for?
Yes.
Okay. Don't worry about showing it yet, or you can if you want. I don't mind. Okay. Make sure I can't see because there's a camera, there's TV screen. I don't want to see it. Okay. Got it?
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay, what I want you to do is I want to picture this person doing whatever it is they do. So it's like a singer, imagine them singing a song. If it's an actor, a famous role. Maybe it's it could just be you've got an image, get the image in your head. Fair?
Yeah.
Okay. So, nothing out loud, just in your mind. Just answer yes or no, okay? Just think whether it's a man or woman, okay? Good, it's a man. Okay, great. Just think TV, music, movies, or something else. TV, music, movies, movie star. Okay. Just like we did with the pet, just think of the first letter of the first name. Brilliant. Think of the first letter of the second name. Great. Okay. Well, we'll do him then. All right. Yeah. So, give me a second. You get free confetti with this trick as well, by the way. Doesn't make a mess everywhere in Alakazam's floor, but we don't care because we're not
Give it the
hoovering up.
hoover at the end, mate.
Yeah. Peter, this is just for you, mate. He's going to save it before you come home. Yeah, I'm a bit sorry about the mess, but you can't have everything. I'm nearly done. Just want the details in now. Nearly got it. Just about there. Just that bit there. I think I've got this. Not 100% sure, but we'll see. So, for the first time, I hope I've got this right. This would be embarrassing to do this wrong on camera. It's a bit choppy, but you can tell. For the first time then, who is it you think of? You can tell me.
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise is who I went for as well. There we go, Tom Cruise there.
Lovely.
So that's 21st Century Phantom, which I believe Alakazam own the rights to now.
We actually do.
Yes, you do, because I sorted out with Peter a while ago, and then we never did any sport. So I have something we'll talk about later with this.
Can I just say, I literally dug mine out the other day. I said to Jamie, I want to learn this. So if you're going to teach it, are you teaching it?
I can teach you because you own the rights to it.
There you go. Yeah,
Ordinarily,
I want to learn it.
Ordinarily, I would
There
not
you
have
go.
owned the rights to this.
Teach you because I want to learn it. I literally got mine out the other day, and I've even got did you give Dad or make Dad a wallet that fits everything in it?
Yeah, he has the original wallet.
Oh, so
So-
I've got that now.
You've got it.
Yeah.
That's the only one there is of that.
I've got
Literally the only one of that. So I originally found these particular wallets that were particularly good for holding everything for this trick in. I was actually given it to. I was given 6, and they came from a conference which I've since tried to track down the original supplier. These wallets don't exist anymore. He has the last one in existence. And I literally worked my way through them where they were all falling apart. So I think it was a year ago now, I approached Tony Antonio, who's an amazing leather worker, who makes all my leather bits. And I gave him the last one I had and said, remake that. And I was very particular about how he made it. And he made this.
Nice.
Now this is about £75. It's the best thing I've ever bought, short of the cube, because I do this trick at every single table, all right? And it contains everything.
Bloody hell! I just realised. Yeah, he's got the cards and everything.
Everything's
in
in
That's
here.
so good, isn't it? That?
It's just like yours would be
Yeah.
if you set it all like this, okay? So the cards are in here, the scissors in here, the ones I'm going to cut out are in here,
Nice.
all right? So the way this trick works, and thank you for Oz Perlman. So I'll tell you the history of this very briefly. Originally, it was called the President's Trick by Anneman, where he would cut out a famous president that somebody was thinking of. It was later done in the 1980s on Paul Dino's Magic Show. He did Elvis on a big A4 piece. Oz Perlman made it very famous by bringing out 21st Century Phantom with the permission from Anneman's family, I believe. And I since kind of, the big problem with the trick when Oz sort of taught it is you'd get this printout of a couple of the different ones. One of them was the John Travolta family, right? You'd have to scalpel them out. And that's what I used to do. And if you're doing a wedding fair and you've got to scalpel out, 70 faces, your fingers are red raw at the end of it.
Yep.
So I have to thank one of the magicians from our local circle called Jason, who's Mr. Shiny to those kids entertainers out there, who likes his gadgets. And Jason told me about this cutting machine. And we tried it and it worked. And I've been doing silhouettes of people since I was 16.
Wow.
So for me, designing this was like second nature to me. So all of a sudden I was like, brilliant. So I've now got well over 300 different designs of faces I can do.
Wow.
I can take a photo of somebody and I can design it and do it. And I do that for people. That doesn't mean I want a million of you contacting me going, I've got a wedding this weekend, can you just do that? I do have somebody that does that. Don't do that to me. But I do have a collection of these. So what I do with this now, I'm not going to bore you with the details. The machine is called a silhouette portrait machine. And basically you just need my files which do this. So anybody that buys one, if you are interested in this trick, particularly if you're thinking of going to do this a lot, you've got 2 options. You can either buy these from Prop Dog, but what you'll find is he laser cuts them rather than machines them these days, which means they have a slight burnt edge. So it kind of gives away a little bit. Some people get away with it. Personally, I don't like the burnt edge. Or you could get a plotter cutter like this particular silhouette portrait, which I recommend, and just spend a day cutting the load out and then just put it aside for a month.
Yeah.
You get a month's load in a day. That's what I tend to do. And the beauty of that, if you buy my files off me, and we might do some sort of Alakazam thing where they can produce these for you, in which case we'll sort something out later on. All right. You've got loads of different designs. So to give you an idea, I haven't got them all in here, but the next one here, so the way this works, I'll show you that before I take this apart, I just realized. So in my wallet, that's my stack. And as you can tell from the really bad sleight of hand I did, I just riffle forced the top card. Now, interestingly, I think I riffle for slightly different to a lot of people do. So when I riffle for, so this next one's going to be Will Smith. I riffle down like most people do, and then I cover my hand like this.
Right.
I don't know if I'm the only one that does that, as I go like that and then push it, because otherwise it would look dodgy as hell when I do it. So anyway, either way, I force the top card. The reason I do that is because this is in a stack order, and so are the ones inside here.
Oh, wow.
All right, so the next one here, pre-folded in there, I don't know if you can see that, here's Will Smith. Look, he's there, look.
Wow.
And he's folded 10 ways down inside the wallet at the back of all this stuff. So that goes celebrity, blank card, celebrity, blank card, celebrity, blank card, celebrity, blank card. And I can only ever set 2 up at once ready to go, otherwise they spring out at you. Learn that by
Right.
the hard way. So I force Will Smith. Now check this out for bad angles, all right? Now I'm going to turn around here and do this the worst angle. Sorry, Alex, I'm going to shove my ass in your face now, but never mind. So this is the worst angle I could be at. Literally somebody over my shoulder. I take the scissors out. I go in the back of the wallet. I take the last card out, the last big one, which I know is the one that's not done. And I come out like this. And that goes into finger palm.
Yeah, nice. Don't see anything.
So even and it's there, ready to go.
You don't see anything at all.
Because the wallet hides it all.
It's great.
That's another reason why the wallet's so good. So now I'm in finger palm and I'm good to go. So I do the reading as I did there. Just watch it back and you'll see what I do. Again, I do this thing like I'm watching their eyes. I fold it in half and I have the scissors like this as I'm doing this reading part. Then I'll cut bang in the middle, or as near as damn it, and that way it folds like the ultimate Mercury fold. Just folds it straight, right? Because I want it to fold right. So I fold it in the middle and I'll do a couple of random cuts. Now you can do this one of 2 ways. If you want to do it like Oz does, do it really detailed and like take your time and make it look like your thing, right? I want it to look like Edward Scissorhands when he's going shh, or I get a lot of people telling me a lot of the guy from Polar Express, you know, when he does the bits of paper. Like,
ticket stamp things.
Yeah, and that's what I want it to look like. But you don't have to do that style. That's just me, all right?
It does look good with the little bits flying.
And, and literally what I'll do is I'll cut loads of lines like so, and then I'll cut. So I'm literally making as much mess as I can.
Nice. Yeah.
So bits of paper are flying out left, right, and centre. So as bits are falling down, what I'll do is I'll make a comment and get, oh, you get free confetti with this trick. And then I will look down and I'll do that motion.
Nice, yeah.
So now I've got the one that's pre-cut in front, well, finger-wise, and then I've got the one here that I'm actually cutting, which is just a random scrap one. So I chop some more out, chop as much as I can, again, making as much mess as I can, being careful not to cut the one underneath it. So again, I have the photographer over my shoulder for this because they're going to take a photo of the silhouette and then the reaction. So that's why I've got angle 3. Chop, make a mess. I've just got this the details in, and then I do this motion. I turn the scissors round, and I go, I think I've got this, and I do that, and I just push with my thumb, and I'm pushing the top one over, and that just goes in my pocket with the scissors. Now I'm clean.
Nice.
So it looks, all they see is white here, they don't see the other bit. And now in this case, I've got Will Smith, so I'll open Will up here. I usually make a comment of how bad the cut is. Oh, God, you give him a black eye or whatever, because it's not particularly good. Look at this. And there's Will Smith, look. So that's 21st Century Phantom. It's the best giveaway, I believe, souvenir-wise, that you can give them. Why give a signed card with their own name on it, which means nothing to them at all, when you can tell them the name of their first pet that they had treasured memory of, or a portrait that's a work of art of a celebrity.
It's so good. And I tell you what, I was going through my stuff and I saw it and I was like, that is just, like, as far as a trick goes, that is so cool of a trick as well, isn't it?
It is a fantastic trick. And then usually what I do, because my back pocket is always normally empty, it's got a mic in it, I usually, as I'm walking around, I just ditch the piece. So the back pocket tends to be rubbish. This is what Tom Cruise actually looked like. It's more like Batman. Or it could be, actually, we put some teeth on there. It's a bit like him from Nightmare on Elm. What's the Christmas one?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's it, that one, yeah.
That's
it's a bit like Jack, isn't it? Pumpkin Jack. So yeah, that's what they all look like, weirdly enough, as well. So yeah, that's
great.
That's 21st Century Phantom. Any questions?
No questions.
That's fantastic,
Good.
like that.
All right.
That is
So we will put that to one side. So,
Wait there, one's just come in.
oh, go on.
Do you give it away like that, or do you put it in a sleeve?
Good question. So, You can do either. So I've done both. It depends how much you're going to do it. I would recommend you give it away in a sleeve. Oz on his DVD, he sticks it to a fridge magnet, like a sticky fridge magnet for them, which I'm told does really, really well. I've done it in a little folder before, little cardboard folder with your details on. That works really well. I know Lee Smith, I think, does that as well. He's another great magician. I've also done it, if you haven't got a lot of money and you don't want to go to the trouble of having it printed, what you can do is you can, if you go on Amazon, there's some trading card sleeves. They're for things like Pokemon cards and things like that. And you get, I think it's 100 of them for about a tenner. And they're black backed and they're clear fronted and they're just the size of a poker card.
Yeah.
And you can literally slide them in and you put a business card in with it or have a sticker on the back, like just a little label sticker that's got your details on, put it on there, give it away. It's worth giving with your details because people will keep it. What I find with these more than anything is the people stick them in the back of their phone cases.
Oh, really?
That's where they always seem to be.
It is a cool thing, though, isn't it?
People got it, yeah.
Yeah. One of our customers does that, actually, Mike, fantastic magician. He does the giveaway and the little sleeve with the clear front with his business card. I've got a couple of questions on here.
Go for it.
Is it all right to ask them that?
Let's do it, yeah.
So one of them, to be fair, you might cover later. It's by James and it says, what are some performance pitfalls and mistakes you would recommend avoiding? So
is that in general or?
I would assume in general, yeah.
Just read that again.
So what are some performance pitfalls and mistakes you would recommend avoiding? It's quite an open question there.
Let's come to that at the end,
we'll
because I
come
think
to
that's a general open one.
Yeah.
Anything that relates to the last few tricks?
So Dad says about the crisp trick. Edward, where does a tossed out deck tie routine? All three people choosing a bag from 10 or 20. You correctly reveal all three as different animals, miscalling two of them.
Yeah.